Including Taylor Swift in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni lawsuit is savage, strategic, and scary.
In an embarrassing new blow for Blake Lively, Taylor Swift will be subpoenaed to be questioned under oath as part of the ongoing Lively versus Justin Baldoni lawsuit battle, according to a source close to the legal action. Both sides in the dispute have reportedly mentioned Swift in their filings, which is why the Eras Tour headliner is part of the first group of potential witnesses who have already been contacted by Baldoni's team.
Blake Lively essentially threatened, you could say, Justin Baldoni, calling Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds her beautiful little dragon monsters that she sometimes has to use to get what she wants done.
Taylor Swift, the global pop sensation, finds herself caught in a whirlwind of controversy as her name surfaces in a high-profile legal battle involving her close friend, actress Blake Lively, and actor Justin Baldoni. Allegations of manipulation and strained friendships have taken center stage, with reports suggesting that Swift feels used by Lively amidst the chaos. As the drama unfolds, Swift has chosen to retreat from the public eye, seeking solace in her relationship with NFL star Travis Kelce. Meanwhile, fans and media speculate about the impact of this turmoil on her personal and professional life.
Remember I said that the tactic of Justin Baldoni's lawyers to include Taylor Swift in the lawsuit was nothing short of Machiavellian, because I knew that Taylor's name, her team would be like, we got a multi-billion-dollar enterprise, quote unquote, for me, and we don't want to be part of this at all. And now she is running for cover and leaving Blake for dead because they don't want any part of this. And that was a tactic. And I keep saying this is the craziest, by far, legal situation to ever hit the entertainment industry.
Blake Lively playfully referenced Game of Thrones by calling herself Khaleesi and Taylor Swift her dragon, likely alluding to their strong friendship and Swift's immense power in the entertainment industry. In the series, Khaleesi commands dragons as symbols of strength and dominance, much like Swift's influence in music and pop culture. Lively, known for her wit, might be suggesting she's a queen-like figure with Swift as her unstoppable force.
Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds for $400 million. That's obviously a shit ton of money, and more has been revealed in this lawsuit, including a bunch of texts from Blake Lively to Justin Baldoni.
She sent, allegedly, if you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Khaleesi, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. You will too, I can promise you.
What? Excuse me.
Yeah.
What is that text? First of all, I don't know if Blake Lively remembers how Game of Thrones ended.
Right. No,
with that
for sure.
text message. Two, I don't think Taylor Swift would like to be called like a little minion. Like saying it's my little dragon is basically like I have a little minion.
No,
I have a little minion named Taylor Swift.
No.
And Ryan Reynolds.
I mean,
my little
you
monsters.
can't be calling yourself Khaleesi.
No, you can't.
You
like,
just can't.
Calling yourself Khaleesi.
No.
These are my little monsters. And
No.
What?
No.
Like, when I first saw those messages from Blake Lively, I was like, are these photoshopped? Like, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Well, I am pleased to report that we have got live footage of one of her dragons. Check this out. I am so sorry, Queen Khaleesi. It does not seem to be going well for you right now. Well, we'll tell you guys, yesterday we did this episode. Obviously, you saw it. I just was starting to put together this timeline like the psycho that I am and recognize that Taylor Swift was just in the mix a lot. You know, she's listed on special thanks to Taylor Swift on the credits of It Ends With.
According to insider sources, Swift is stepping back to avoid getting further entangled in the controversy, which has spiraled beyond expectations. An insider revealed, for the time being, she's taking a step back from Blake because she doesn't want to get tangled in this more than she already has, which is far more than she ever needed to be. This statement suggests that Swift feels she's already been dragged deeper into the situation than she's comfortable with, and she is making calculated moves to protect her public image.
Blake Lively has bragged about her big friendships in Hollywood, but it seems like she's losing her steam, and now she was just dropped by Taylor Swift. Blake Lively and Taylor Swift first became acquainted in 2015 when Blake Lively did an ad for L'Oreal and she mentioned Taylor Swift's song Bad Blood in the Instagram post. And because of that, a few months later, the two decided to meet in Australia while Taylor Swift was forming a concert and they formed a friendship there. In 2021, Taylor Swift decided to help out Blake Lively's career because she was trying to be a director, so she let her direct her music video, I Bet You Think About Me. Now that friendship's being put through the rocks because Justin Baldoni in his lawsuit against Blake Lively has named Taylor Swift, saying Blake Lively would use Taylor as a weapon against him. With a big example being a fight that Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni had when making It Ends With Us, where Blake Lively wanted to rewrite that Justin Baldoni didn't want to do. Blake Lively invited Justin Baldoni over to dinner where Taylor Swift was there, and Taylor Swift was trying to put pressure on Baldoni to change the script to the way Blake Lively wanted it.
It's very timely. It says Taylor Swift taking a step back from Blake Lively as dramatic legal battle with Justin Baldoni threatens their decade-long friendship. And it's got James Fatushka as the writer. He is in the entertainment space. He's like the top writer for their entertainment column. And he's not going to just write this unless he was told this. This is how it works in the background, you guys. You have these PR people who come behind and they tell you this is what we want planted. And the more power you have, it will be word for word, exactly what you want the public to read. So I'll tell you what they want the public to read. It says Taylor Swift is taking a step back from her friendship with Blake Lively after feeling like she was used as an intimidation tactic by the actress in a lawsuit that she never wanted to be embroiled in.
And you'll disagree with me because I know Taylor Swift better than you do. Taylor, just think back on 2023, the world seemingly was against her relationship with Matty Healy. Did that stop her? No. She rode that until he dumped her. She's a ride or die until the trust is broken.
They're all children, including you.
I am a very responsible adult child. Okay.
Another source has confirmed this sentiment, adding, Taylor has politely backed away from it all. She is conscious of her own image and hates that she was even mentioned. For someone as meticulously managed as Swift, whose brand thrives on authenticity and relatability, being unwillingly pulled into a bitter legal feud is understandably distressing.
Her friends also think that Blake's "I'm Khaleesi and like her, I happen to have dragons" text to Justin was uncool and unnecessary because she was essentially used as an intimidation tactic. She was referred to as some kind of pet or possession. Taylor shouldn't even be involved in this at all. She was only going over to visit Blake and Ryan with the understanding that the meeting would be over. A second source said, Taylor has politely backed away from it all. She is conscious of her own image and hates that she was even mentioned. Okay, so the last part is true. She is politely backed away because she's conscious of her own image. She's extremely conscious.
And in the lawsuit, he's painting her out to be a weapon that Blake Lively used to help bully Justin Baldoni into giving her more control over his movie. And Taylor used her immense influence to help her friend intimidate him. And then Vanity Fair just wrote an article that isn't helping, titled Taylor Swift rolls into Kansas City Chiefs game hours after Justin Baldoni calls her a bully. Well, she looks fabulous either way. And I was on Justin Baldoni's team, but you cannot bring in my queen Taylor Swift and think I won't defend.
Blake Lively has accused Baldoni of misconduct and launching a smear campaign against her in a lawsuit filed last year. The case took an unexpected turn when Baldoni countersued both Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, for a staggering $400 million. But what truly shocked fans was Baldoni's decision to pull Swift into the legal mess. According to court documents, Baldoni alleged that Lively used Swift to exert pressure during a contentious meeting with Reynolds regarding script edits for a rooftop scene.
Baldoni is now involving Taylor Swift in his lawsuit against Blake Lively. So Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicists for over $400 million for all the It Ends With Us drama. Now he's name dropping Taylor Swift, Blake's bestie, in the mix. Thankfully, Taylor Swift is not being sued, but she's mentioned in his 179-page paper complaint. And he's alleging that Taylor's fame was used to pressure him during production. And it really all stems from this penthouse situation where Blake and Ryan live. Apparently there was a meeting there with all of them and Taylor Swift was actually present, and Blake ended up rewriting one of the scenes. And even after the meeting was over, Baldoni texted Blake this, saying, "I gotta put my glasses on for this one, the font is too small. Also was working on the rooftop scene today. Really love what you did. Makes it so much more fun and interesting, and I would have felt the same way without Ryan and Taylor."
This was a sinister PR move. Blake Lively then moved 11 days later to file a lawsuit. So now she has filed a lawsuit. And I don't think she ever wanted to do this. I think she genuinely wanted this to be a PR move, and she wanted to leak it to the New York Times. She thought the public would take her side with no questions asked. And instead the public is saying, no, we have a few questions here. And Justin Baldoni is going all the way to the wall on this. His lawyer is already giving interviews explaining just how nasty her team has played this. The lawyer's name is Brian Friedman. He stopped by the Megyn Kelly show, and here's some of the things that he had to say. First, he says there used to never be a sexual claim. There never was a sexual claim until she went to that civil rights office. Take a listen.
There was actually no allegation of sexual harassment until the lawsuit was filed.
We're going to be talking all things Blake Lively and her legal complaint that she's filed against her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. Yes, the It Ends With Us movie drama does in fact not end. What's interesting about this story to me is the Justin Baldoni of it all. He is a self-proclaimed male feminist. He's woke. He speaks out against sexual assault and sexual harassment, even toxic masculinity. And now in this legal complaint filed by Blake Lively, he's being accused of sexual harassment.
I challenge you to see if you can use the same qualities that you feel make you a man to go deeper into yourself. And will you be man enough to stand up to other men when you hear locker room talk, when you hear stories of sexual harassment, when you hear your boys talking about grabbing ass or getting her drunk? Will you actually stand up and do something so that one day we don't have to live in a world where a woman has to risk everything and come forward to say the words "me too"?
This is going to be really awkward if these allegations are true. I will say, just for the record, I'm not a fan of either of these individuals, and something about both of them rubs me the wrong way, so I'm not sure.
In an article titled "We Can Bury Anyone," Blake Lively heroically shared her story, and the world was on her side because it looked like she was just trying to take down a predator in Hollywood. So Justin Baldoni and his ace lawyer launched an all-cylinder fire attack to clear his name, and he started by suing the New York Times, saying that article was just published because it was paid for by Ryan Reynolds, and it was a multi-layered scheme planned out by Blake and Ryan to take down Justin. And I think it's pretty common knowledge that the mainstream media will lie on behalf of their powerful friends or anyone who pays them off to say certain.
Baldoni claimed that Swift's unexpected presence made him feel like he needed to comply with Blake's direction for the script, implying that her influence was leveraged to sway decisions. This revelation was reportedly a turning point for Swift, who had not intended to be part of the meeting but happened to arrive at Lively's New York penthouse while it was still ongoing.
So as Justin sees it, as Blake was busy trying to strong-arm and take over every part of his movie, she, out of the blue, rewrote a part of the script and then gave it to Justin for him to see if he liked it and if they could put it in the movie. But she's not the writer on the movie. And then Blake told him that he should come over to her and Ryan Reynolds' penthouse and talk about that part of the script that she wrote. But when he arrived, to his surprise, her best friend Taylor Swift was there, imploring him to use Blake's script, saying it is the single best thing she's ever read in her life. And keep in mind, this is all about career advancement for Blake Lively, and Taylor Swift has been one of the people supporting her in doing that and will be pretty ruthless to keep her friend succeeding. She even let Blake Lively direct her first project ever, which was a Taylor Swift music video.
Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. And then she wanted to, ixnayed all of the wardrobe choices, because when you're making a movie about a poor woman who's suffering from domestic violence, you want her to look like she has money.
Right.
That Blake said.
That's what she did.
She looks like she has money.
Yep.
And she's dressing in florals, and then she's going on this press tour pushing her liquor line and her hair care line, because that's what women who are trying to escape with their lives are worried about.
That's what generated her negative press and led to a series of clips of her being insensitive in one way, shape, or form with other interviewers in the past. She has no one to blame but herself.
Critics also question why, if Blake was experiencing an unprofessional environment during filming, she didn't report it to her agent or union at the time. Many argue that taking formal action earlier could have addressed the issue before it escalated into a legal battle.
She said, I have clients that have felt uncomfortable with their directors before, that haven't liked their directors, and have felt like it's getting a little weird. All she needed to do was make one call to her agent or one call to the union rep and say, listen, I have a director that's just pushing boundaries a bit. He's making me feel uncomfortable. And that's it. Listen, that's all it would have taken.
But weren't we past that? Because there was that period of time at the beginning where there was the list of demands that she said she would not accept any more of.
The 17-point list of demands that came in the middle of production, yes.
Right. So he said, okay, great, I won't do those things anymore. And there were no more problems since then. So why then sue him after the fact? He agreed to not do it. He didn't do it.
And no, none of it makes.
An insider reveals that Colleen Hoover, who initially supported Blake Lively, now admits she never actually read the novel before getting involved in the film. This revelation has sparked criticism, as many assumed Hoover's backing was based on a deep understanding of the story. Fans are now questioning her role and credibility in the project.
Start with Colleen Hoover, okay? That is the author of It Ends With Us, who text messages, emails, interviews, all of the proof that is out there in the public shows us that she positively adored Justin Baldoni. She asked him herself. Initially, he was just getting involved with this project because of the book, but then she asked him herself to play Ryle in the movie. And things were great until Blake Lively, right? We actually had, and I think we're still trying to pull it in, this old clip of her discussing how amazing Justin Baldoni was, because he didn't just want to take on this book project, but it was important for him to understand the readers and the fans of the book, what it was that they adored about these characters.
Oh boy. Perez Hilton here, and if you're not familiar with her, she is Colleen Hoover, the author whose novel Justin Baldoni found, optioned, and turned into the movie co-starring Ryan Reynolds' wife and Taylor Swift's bestie, Gossip Girl alum and B-list actress Blake Lively. He alleges in his lawsuit against what many are calling Amber Heard 2.0 that she never even read the novel that Colleen Hoover wrote. And he's got texts to prove it. And this novel means a lot to many people because it deals with a very sensitive subject matter, DV.
Swift's decision to distance herself isn't just about the lawsuit. It's about self-preservation. She has always been strategic in managing her relationships, both personal and professional. While she values loyalty, she's equally committed to safeguarding her career from unnecessary risks. As one insider put it, Taylor has tried to help tone Blake down in the past, but she now knows it's never going to happen. This realization seems to have been the final straw, prompting Swift to politely but firmly step away.
Blake Lively mentioned Taylor Swift to Justin Baldoni with an awful Game of Thrones reference, intimidating him, and that might have upset Taylor Swift. The Daily Mail says that the uncool and unnecessary description, her as a dragon, was reportedly the final straw for Swift, who had never planned to be at the meeting, but arrived at Lively's New York penthouse to find it was still going on.
Now you see text messages in this lawsuit from Blake Lively comparing herself to the heroine of Game of Thrones, the fiercest female character we've seen in years, Khaleesi. That's her riding her dragon. She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones. And that's what Blake Lively says in a text message, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. That's, again, believed to be the other person. And that they are powerful advocates for her. And while it seems to be said like, I'm so lucky that I have them as great storytellers to help me rewrite the script, what Brian Friedman alleges is, you'll go along or I'll unleash my dragons on you, you loser who no one's ever heard.
While Blake Lively has long been considered one of Hollywood's most charming and likable actresses, her reputation is reportedly taking a hit due to her own actions. Some industry insiders claim that her involvement in the lawsuit and her response to the situation have contributed to the negative press surrounding her. Instead of addressing the controversy head-on, Lively has reportedly been avoiding questions and limiting her public engagements, which has only fueled speculation.
And there are other moments to go like, am I the in the room? Like, what is happening here? I would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that like that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to fulfill.
One major factor in this ongoing saga is Blake Lively's lawsuit, which is reportedly causing ripple effects in the entertainment industry. With the legal battle looming over her, Lively has been noticeably absent from certain public events. And when she does make appearances, the media's focus is often on her legal troubles rather than her work.
What do you think about her uninviting Blake Lively? Do you think that's real, or do you think that's just news, like trying to get headlines?
I think it's 1,000% real. I think she got caught, and going by Taylor Swift's history of her songs like Bad Blood with Katy Perry and all that kind of stuff, it seems like if she finds people that are crossing her, it's a donezo. And I feel like, you know, Blake was probably doing this for years, using her as a pawn, being like, I'm friends with Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift's my best friends, and all that kind of stuff, to get her way into things or whatever it is, right? And then for the text message to come out and her calling her a dragon, like, I'm Khaleesi and these are my dragons. It's like, wait, what? Like, I'm Taylor Swift. I don't need this. Like, I don't need these small little games that you're playing.
No,
like, what? Like, no, like, I'm out. I think, and then I think she's the godchild to one of Blake's kids as well, right? I believe that she is.
Yes, she is.
I don't know what's going to happen there, but maybe she'll just take 6 months off from her and then just slowly I don't know.
You know, there was a Super Bowl commercial with Glenn Powell and he ate the dragon. I wonder if that was a reference, like a very subliminal reference to all of this, but I could be stretching the truth.
Commercial.
I could be stretching a little bit. You know?
So Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds skipped the Golden Globes, even though Ryan Reynolds' new film, Deadpool and Wolverine, was nominated. And now it appears that Blake Lively may have been snubbed by the Golden Globes, which may have prompted them to not attend. So a new report online suggests that WME was trying to get Blake to be a presenter at the Golden Globes, but was declined, which was likely due to the bad press that she was getting while promoting It Ends With Us, which ultimately spearheaded the whole lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. And also noticeably absent was Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman, who we saw all over the promotion of It Ends.
Blake Lively is facing criticism for allegedly using the It Ends With Us premiere and promotional events to promote her own brands and products. Critics claim she prioritized personal business interests over the film's focus, blurring the lines between her acting career and entrepreneurial ventures.
In a lot of these clips and like evidence of Blake being cringe and being rude, Blake did those things. And Blake did use the film as a moment to launch a hair care business. Right. And promoting her alcohol brand, Betty Buzz, it's just not a good look when you're promoting also a film about domestic violence.
Well, I think too, it was just a lot of like all about Blake, all about how this is how I styled it. This is my hair care line, my Betty Buzz, whatever. It was just a lot about her and how this was her vision. And I think people felt like that it didn't land.
What are your thoughts on Taylor Swift hiding away amid the legal drama? Do you think it will affect their friendship long term? Share your opinions in the comments below.